So you are thinking of working outside of Pakistan. Maybe you've spent hours on LinkedIn and other job boards applying endlessly to the jobs but getting no response. Let me tell you that you are not alone, and I myself have made these mistakes throughout my career. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel, and my name is Danish. I have been working as a software engineer for past 10 years. I have worked for billion-dollar companies in Middle East and currently working at Android Canada. I have been in your shoes when it comes to applying jobs abroad from Pakistan. These 5 mistakes, if you can avoid them, will increase your chances to get hired as a software engineer from Pakistan. So the first thing that you need to know is the visa requirements and the work requirements. Not all countries operate in the same way. So for example, in Canada, there is something called LMIA, which means Labor Market Impact Assessment. What you need to understand in terms of Canada is that the company needs to make a case for you to hire you from outside Canada. This is not the case in Dubai. For example, in Dubai, if you have a job offer, it's relatively easy to get a visa there. Similar is the case with Germany. For example, if you have a job offer from Germany, the company doesn't have to make a case for you to the government to bring in you into the Germany. So make sure that you understand the visa requirements for different countries, especially the country you are applying to. So if you are applying mindlessly to any job that comes in front of you, for example the LinkedIn job boards or Indeed or Glassdoor, you might be wasting your efforts. So make sure if you are applying, you have a higher chance of getting hired. Otherwise you will burn out and you will stop applying. Dubai is fairly easy and you might get a visa within weeks. But this is not the case with Canada or maybe Germany. Canada has a very long queue. Some people are lucky to get their visa within weeks and some wait for 6 months. And different countries have different types of visas. For example, apart from work visa in all of those countries, Dubai has a freelancer visa where you can go as a freelancer and work in Dubai. Germany has an opportunity card where you can go in Germany and find jobs on that particular card. Canada particularly doesn't allow you to get a job if you're not a PR holder or on a work permit or a national. So make sure you study visa requirements across different countries so that you don't lose your momentum and you don't burn out. The other most common mistake is not using your online presence and using a common resume to apply to all jobs. First and foremost thing that you should do is to create a LinkedIn profile if you don't have one and update it with your latest experience. And then select a country where you want to get a job in and change your location to that country. So most recruiters in the international market are using online media to approach candidates. For example, I get daily messages on LinkedIn for jobs in Canada, which means there are jobs available, but you need to change your location to that particular country where you are trying to get a job. If you're trying to get a job in Dubai, change your location to Dubai. If you're trying to get a job in Germany, change your location to Germany. It's far more easier to start a conversation with a recruiter when they have approached you instead of you approaching them and then tell them your story. Similar to this is you might be applying with the same resume to all the jobs. You need to cater your resume to that particular job requirement. For example, if you're applying for a front-end job and then you are adding your back-end and game development experiences, your resume is a weak resume. So make sure that you are catering your resume to those particular job requirements that you are searching for. Make 3 to 4 resumes which are specific to your roles, for example a back-end resume, a full-stack resume, a front-end resume, and then just tinker those keywords in those resumes when you're applying to those particular roles. If you're a full-stack developer, for example, there is a higher chance that you can apply to all 3 of the roles, the front-end, the back-end, and the full-stack role itself. So create 3 different resumes and then just tinker with the keywords of those resumes according to the job opportunity that you're applying to. You also need to know that some companies value cover letter a lot. So make sure that your cover letter shows the skills that you have particular to that job. You don't have to show your whole history that you started game development, then you switched to mobile, then you started working on backend, then now you're working as a full stack. What the recruiter needs to know is that you fit in that particular job role and that you are a good candidate for it. So add as much as possible about that particular role and just leave the other things out. Moving to the next common mistake, that people don't take advantage of the network and the networking opportunities. So the first thing that you should do if you are still not on LinkedIn is to create a LinkedIn profile and then connect with the connections working at your target country. If you already have a profile, then what you need to do is to go to LinkedIn Jobs, filter the jobs by that country, then go to each job and find people there. Add recruiters, senior software engineers, and people a little bit higher than you to your network. Start interacting with them, and once you see a job opportunity that the person is working in, connect them with a highly personalized message. This will open so many doors for you that you cannot even imagine right now. In addition to building a network, subscribe to the job alerts that the company you are looking to work for. So LinkedIn has an option to subscribe to alerts that are particular to your role. So if you go to LinkedIn Jobs, go to a particular company, go to the Jobs tab, and then create an alert with those keywords. So for example, I'm a front-end developer. I would go to that particular company, go to the jobs, and create an alert with front-end keyword. So whenever the company posts a job, I get an alert and I am the first few ones to apply for the job. Now, one of the most difficult things to understand when applying to jobs online or outside of Pakistan is that you are competing with a global market. So if you're just clicking easy apply and throwing out your resume randomly, think that how are you competing with everyone in the global market? Let's take an example of Dubai. So people from all over the world want to migrate to Dubai, especially the Southeast Asian market. People from Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. All of these people want to migrate to Dubai. And now you're competing with those highly talented individuals. Compare yourself. If you're just doing what everyone else is doing, clicking easy apply and throwing out resume randomly, you really have a very low chance of getting an offer. Similar is the case with West. Everybody wants to move to US and Canada, especially from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and countries like these. So what are you doing in terms that makes you stand out so that recruiter gets an attention and makes an effort to reach out to you? So you have to think out of the box, and you cannot just use average methods to apply. One more thing I would say here is if you think that applying to 15 or 14 or 10 jobs per day is a good amount to apply, then you are really not making any effort. Aim for at least 50 jobs per day to apply so that you get some chance to get a job. Now moving to the last point about cultural and communication differences between different countries. So let's say that you have made a lot of effort and then you eventually land an interview with a recruiter. So this is a screening interview and they will gauge you on your personality and what you have written on your resume. There are cultural differences in what recruiters see in different countries. When I used to take interviews in Pakistan, we were mostly focused on how skilled a particular person was and if he will be able to fit in the role and would the job in a good and effective way. In Canada, what I have observed, in addition to the technical skills, people want to see if you are cultural fit for the team. If you have those human skills that make you a good team player. If you have those communication skills which will overcome the barrier to work with the customers, the project managers, the designers. And if you lack in fluent communication and if you lack in more humanly connecting with other people, then you are most likely filtered out during the screening interview phase. On the other hand, in Dubai, for example, the recruiters are looking for experienced professionals. In Pakistan, I know that there is a huge market for fresh graduates to get job offers. Dubai like people to have experience, for example, 4 or 5 years in a particular technology, and that's when you get a chance to work in Dubai. So if you're a fresh graduate and trying to find a job in Dubai, it's very difficult to get a job as a fresh graduate because the market is different and they're looking for highly skilled, experienced people in particular technology. And when it comes to US or Canada for fresh graduates, you need to understand that the fresh graduate market or the talent who is freshly graduated available here is in abundance. For example, US itself has many universities which are producing fresh graduates. Canada have big names like Waterloo, they are producing fresh graduates and these are very smart people. And if you are a fresh graduate trying to apply to Canada for a work permit, then you really have a low chance. What you can do in terms of future-proofing yourself is to start working on your PR process. And in terms of cultural and communication differences, what I've observed, especially in Canada, is that your accent doesn't really matter. One thing I'd like to add here in terms of cultural difference is if English is not your foreign language, don't think that it's a blocker to apply jobs abroad. I've worked with people who are very fluent in English with like native accent and others who struggle to speak English as fluently as we can. But they all are coming along. What you need to show is that you have skills and that you are a good team player and you can communicate your ideas even if it's not the perfect English. I genuinely like to help software engineers like you, so I've created a community where I answer these questions and help you craft your resume and prepare you for interviews doing mock interviews. So if you have questions about resume or want to get a resume review or just want to prepare for mock interviews, the link to the community is down in the description below. Make sure you join it. And if you want to see how to craft a good resume, here's the video, and here's the video for finding jobs in Canada. And I'll see you in the next one.